Alright people, today's YouTube video is going to be another one of my sex videos from the sex series. Today I'm going to do something a little different. It's going to be, I guess we should say, sex with BBW 3. Yes, it's the third episode. And in the description it's going to be BBW versus fat women. And you might say, why would you say fat when fat is fat? And I'm about to explain to you the phenomenon on what type of man does screw women 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, and what do you see in the movies and the television, and what is considered a misconception about that. Now, what we have to ask ourselves in this video is, do big women and women who are curvy or thick, because there's an argument to that thick eventually becomes fat, which O'Shea Do Jackson loves to argue in a lot of his YouTube videos, which I think he is on to telling the truth. I think that's only half of the problem solved. He wants to classify that as the whole entire problem solved. Only think half of it is solved. Because if you're not in athletic shape and you don't go to the gym and work out like that, then you really can't be speaking on something that you really have no expertise in. But everyone's going to make their own opinion and their own conclusion, however. So, yeah, he only touched on half the problem. And this is my own take on the video. This is my take on thick versus fat, or in this case, I'm just going to say it's BBW versus fat women. What is the complete total difference? Now, both have one thing in common, and I know you men are probably gonna agree with this. Have you ever noticed that when guys go to the gym and these guys are bench pressing, leg squatting, and deadlifting 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, and then in some cases 450 to 490, and if you could deadlift 500, have you ever noticed that a lot of these women think guys who work out are superheroes? Like, think about it. A lot of these women think you're either Batman, Superman, Aquaman. I guess we can now include Aquaman because of the movie. Batman, Superman, Aquaman, The Flash, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, superheroes of the DC. I guess we could say Shazam, because Shazam is getting a movie, so I guess we could throw him in there. And on the Marvel side, Steve Rogers, Captain America, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, and Black Panther, and let's see, I guess we could include Wolverine. A lot of women think that men who go to the gym and can lift huge, monstrous proportions of weight must be superheroes from the DC/Marvel comic books. And I think that's where the sexual attraction begins. A lot of the women that are fat and out of shape are women that you see every single day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. Now, the fat acceptance is this group of individuals that are, up there in weight, who feel like they're not being accepted because they're big. And again, that's only half the problem being, talked about. See, what people don't want to understand in society is that when women reject men based on their appearance, the way they look, how much money you have, how much status do you have. And a lot of times when a woman rejects a man 5 times, 10 times, 15 times, 20 times, then you put a man in great danger. You put his male biology, his male imperative, you put it in danger. Now he's in a life and death situation. That's why you see about 80 to 85% on average of men go to the gym. 24-hour fitness, LA Fitness, Gold's Gym, Club Onyx, Club Bay, LA Boxing Gym. There's UFC Gym. Yeah, I know you might find it hard to believe that the people that do mixed martial arts. Now they have a gym called UFC Gym, Planet Fitness, or you can just go to the YMCA, or you can just go to the park and work out. About 80 to 85% of men on average go to the gym and are forced to work out 2 times a week, 3 times a week, 4 times a week, and in some extreme cases, 5 to 6 times a week if they're not working, an 8 to 15 hour job. That's how many times they would go to the gym and do physical activity. Cardio, weight training, lifting weights, doing sports like basketball and things of that nature. Now, the women, whenever someone says that men have sex with fat women, you got to ask yourself what type of fat women are we talking about. Now, women who are curvy, the ones with the big breasts and the big thighs and the big butt, but she still looks somewhat physically, sexually attractive enough to ask out to lunch and dinner. Those women you will see if you're in a high class or middle class residential area. And usually those men would date those types of women if for some reason dating the women that they would like to associate with are not available. Now, the women that are FAT, fat, are the ones we see every single day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. They would say, oh man, she's obese or she's sloppy fat. Now, those types of females are the ones you see every day at the gym who identify guys who play basketball, football, baseball, soccer, and tennis, or do boxing or mixed martial arts. Or if you're a power lifter or a weightlifter, not necessarily a bodybuilder, but a power lifter or a weightlifter, they will identify you as some superhero from the DC comic books or from Marvel comics. They will classify you as Superman, Batman, the Flash, Green Lantern, Green Arrow, Aquaman. If it's Marvel, they'll classify you as Steve Rogers, Captain America, Bucky Barnes, Winter Soldier, Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, especially the Incredible Hulk and Thor and Wolverine come to mind than any other character in Marvel. Most men get compared to, oh, he's big as strong as the Incredible Hulk, or he's biggest and strongest Thor, or he's Wolverine. Black Panther to a certain extent, Iron Man to a certain extent. I'm just, telling you. And if you're Spider-Man, again, to a certain extent. Now, when women who are 200 pounds, 300 pounds, 400 pounds, and then in some extreme circumstances, 500 pounds, a lot of these women get rejected because they're overweight. And you see, when these women get rejected, their biological imperative gets put into great danger. It's a nice way of saying you're going to become extinct and erased off the face of the earth if you don't get into athletic shape and eat your fruits and vegetables and drink a lot of water. And these women who you see at the gym with a big butt and some big titties, but they're still on the heavy side, the ones that's got a nice curvy size or they're proportionate, those women are able to still get asked out to lunch and dinner, and sex does become involved because the guys that are, high class or middle class that, got the high status jobs, for whatever reason, they were not able to get the women that they do find physically, sexually attractive. And you see, Hollywood got a hold of this idea and started promoting this in movies and television shows. Like you look at the movie Pain and Gain for a prime example. You get an African American black man that's a bodybuilder, and the guy can deadlift, 385 pounds, and he's complaining that all these supermodels and all these fitness models and actresses don't pay no attention to him. And here's this girl that works at the front desk that's, blonde hair, white girl that's 260 pounds, and she finds him physically, sexually attractive, and she understands his frustration because nobody appreciates the hard work and the pain and sacrifice of having to actually make a big change and then not be accepted after you make that big change. After 10 years of not being noticed, well, his sexual frustrations lead him to Well, if you've seen the movie Pain and Gain, I don't have to describe it to you. You've seen the movie. It's rated R. It's a good movie directed by Michael Bay. You know, the same Michael Bay that everyone says messes up the Transformer movies. Yeah, that Michael Bay. Not that I'm trying to throw him under the bus. So don't be going to his Twitter or his Facebook and say, yo, Michael Bay, this guy clowned you and threw you under the bus, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm using his film as a reference to explain the subject that I named the title of this video. So don't misconstrue or take what I say out of context, even though some people still will take it out of context. Even after they say don't take it out of context, they will anyway. But my point is, if you look at that film, that black guy is frustrated at the fact that for 10 years I burned fat, I built muscle, I got a house, or in this case I got an apartment, I got a car, I work 5 days a week, and yet I still cannot get the attention of a woman that is either a supermodel, a fitness model, or an actress. But yet I get the attention of a white girl with blonde hair that's 260 pounds. There's another movie that shows this. Not Pain and Gain, but Trainwreck with John Cena, which in that film, Amy Schumacher was kind of on the heavy side, and again, this movie promotes exactly what I'm talking about. And he's this big, buff, athletic guy, and yeah, again, you can go watch the movie Trainwreck to get where I'm going. That's two films right there. That's two Hollywood films that promotes the idea that it's okay to get with a big woman. But the type of women that they're putting in this movie are women that I or you or O'Shea Duke Jackson would call is fat. Not the girls that are curvy and, you know, they're big, but they're not extremely big to the point where you go, okay. Now, what I'm trying to say is that Hollywood's promoting this because it's Hollywood, and can't blame Hollywood because they're Hollywood. They see an opportunity to make money, they're going to make money. What I'm trying to say to you in this video is that a lot of these women's biological imperative is in great danger because they're not accepted, because they're overweight. And you see, this is because some women, not all women, some women, when they reject men for being too short, well, now a man's male biology is now in danger because he's not accepted because he's too short. If a man is jobless, no house, no car, no job, no money, no looks, no status, his male biology is now threatened that he will now be erased out of existence because women only find men attractive who have these qualities. And women who don't possess these qualities, their female biology is now threatened and is in grave danger. And when you get a man who works his ass off for 10 years or 15 years or 20 years, and he still is not able to physically, sexually attract the women that he wants, and the only person that pays attention to his hard work, his dedication, and sees him make those painful sacrifices, 99.99% of the time, it's usually women who are fat, out of shape, who recognize hard work pays off. Because these women are sexually frustrated. These women face rejection for 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, and often at times, in some extreme cases, 25 to 30 years of their life, they face rejection. 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, because they're overweight. And I've said it in some other YouTube videos that the answer for fixing this problem is going to the gym and trying to get into some type of athletic shape. So I'm saying the difference is that in the movies, they show you the woman that's fat, and tell you, you know, a guy that plays basketball or football or is a bodybuilder likes big women, but what they're not trying to show you is that the women that they are dating, if they are going to date them, are women who are usually curvy, you know, with the big breasts and the big butt. Now, sex is sex by the end of the day. What I'm saying in this video is that this is my version. This is my take on, you know, thick versus fat. Except for what I'm saying is BBW women versus fat women. If you get a girl that has a big breast and a big butt, the man still might find the woman physically sexually attractive. If she's between 190 to 220 pounds or 225 or 230, he still might entertain the idea of scoring. Where if a girl is 240, 250, there's going to be a weight issue. There's going to be a weight limit. Sometimes a girl can get away being 240, 250, 260, and usually the girl's 270 or 280 or 290 or 300 pounds or way past 300 pounds. That's what I mean by fat. And that's what they're promoting in these movies and these television shows. And they only want to show one side of the problem and not the other side of the problem. So when you hear someone say, yeah, guys will smash fat chicks, there's two types of fat chicks. The ones to me that are the worst ones are the ones that 1 minute loses weight, they gain weight. They gain weight, they lose weight, and they go back and forth. Those are the worst ones because you can never get any consistency with those. And you see, the way it was explained to me when I was a kid, that if a woman was just born fat, you really couldn't take it personal. Versus the girls that just love to eat and eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. That's when you can kind of say which ones are there being promoted in television. So if it's the ones that were born fat, at some point, yeah, you have to acknowledge that there's an issue there, but it ain't entirely their fault. And the ones that just like to eat 4 times a day or 5 or 6 times a day, that's the ones that are being promoted in these movies and television shows. Now, I'm not saying that they won't go to the gym and lose 20, 30, 40, 50, or 60 pounds and be between 200 to 230 pounds. What I'm saying is they're not really telling you which fat woman that guys will mess with. They're just saying fat in general, and it's hard to kind of hard to answer that 100% and say that's the correct answer when there's two sides to the problem. Now, for the part that you've been asking for, why some guys will